Angel. This is the weekly love reading. We're beginning with the dice with Try Again, Spend Money, and Stay in Bed. Spirit says, forget it. 29, spiritual partnership. Forget it can mean like forget like the past, forget what happened, or forget it, there's no chance of this. It can mean different things. Don't let it scare you. Also, sex. Sex came up in the general as well, by the way. With the cards, beginning with the Eight of Cups in reverse, which can mean in love that it's time for you to like get out and engage with the world if you're single, or if you are in a relationship, particularly a long-term one, you could be thinking about wanting to get out of it. If you're in this situation, definitely watch the general reading. I mean, I would hope that all of you guys would watch the general reading. There's some pretty heavy stuff that came out of it, but especially in the area of love and maybe needing to get out of a relationship. So check it out. And behind it, we're having justice. It could definitely be tied with that. Justice can be tied with legality and even possible abuse, domestic abuse, or needing to escape and get to a shelter and all that kind of stuff was coming up in the general. That's not what it was all about. Of course, there were degrees of, levels of needing to leave a relationship. Some not nearly as serious, but that could be why justice is here. Also, the planet Venus, which justice represents, goes into Aquarius this week. So that may be why justice is showing up. It is in reverse. And this card, too, can be about like a need for a self-assessment. Like, let's say you want to leave a relationship. Like, you got to assess yourself, assess the relationship, think about it. This is not going to be people just up and leaving their relationship like on a whim. They're going to want to think about it. They're going to want to consider. And again, like I said, if you're single, it's about getting out there, being around other people. Aquarius represents like large groups, like it rules large groups and friends and all that kind of stuff. So you want to be making friends, meeting people. So you'll be spending time in groups to the extent that it's safe in consideration of COVID and whatnot, and meeting people that way. And justice in reverse can be about like fairness and balance and have I been treated properly? And so there's a self-assessment there of what you're taking or what you're willing to take or what you've been dealing with and what you've been doing also in the relationship, like what your responsibility is. The next card is upright. It's the Queen of Wands in reverse. An Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius may be particularly significant. Also, the Queen of Wands is the quintessential divine feminine of the tarot. It's followed by the Eight of Wands, which is about messages and the universe working behind the scenes. And so you might receive a message despite Mercury retrograde. These arrows are moving forward, so message may actually be received, and it may lead to you being made aware that something is on the horizon, something tangible that you can see or feel, smell, and not just imagine in your head, but it's still not coming quite yet. That's what the Three of Wands is about. But look, the Four is not far behind. In fact, it's immediately behind it. So pretty cool. It is in reverse, so that Four could be delayed. And again, the Three will at least give you the sense that I have something to look forward to. Like the Four is coming. I'm going to shuffle these a little bit. There's the Two of Wands, which comes before the Three, of course. Knight of Cups. Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords upright like that brings messages that you want to hear. Maybe he's who's bringing the message that relates to the Three of Wands. You have the Nine of Swords, which is about worry, sleepless nights, anxiety. I'll do one more. It's the Knight of Wands. A lot of characters today. Only knight we haven't seen just now is the Knight of Pentacles. There he is. You saw it. There's no sleight of hand there. You saw what happened before your own eyes. And behind it, the next card is in reverse. It is strength. The same thing actually happened in the general reading. We started with the Four of Swords, and I was talking about how the Four of Swords often shows up for me, sort of like in tandem with the Six of Swords, or the Six of Swords is not far behind. And sure enough, we ended up with an overall energy of the Six of Swords. For love and relationship, our fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Your card this week is, in your energy, it's the Ten of Wands in reverse. Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Your card is the Hanged Man. In reverse. My fellow air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Our card is the Hermit, upright. And water signs, last but not least, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Your element, the Three of Cups in reverse. Knight of Pentacles, a guy who always reaches his goal. He is potentially a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Wants to make you some sort of offer, bring you abundance, make a delivery. So the Knight of Pentacles is this guy with this, sort of very slow and steady wins the race mentality. He's super practical and grounded. And, in the general reading, I hate to keep referring to it, but I see how connected it is. The card that most directly represented everybody was the Seven of Pentacles. And I got to talking about how earth signs sometimes in particular can have difficulty realizing when they're successful or when they've made it or when it's time to stop fighting, give up, join the party, join the rest of the world, and they just keep moving the goalposts further and further away from themselves to try to achieve something else, like waiting for a more perfect time that never comes, right? My sister posts pretty much every day, carpe diem, seize the day, seize the moment, and then she, includes whatever reasoning for the day she has for making the statement. She has MS. She's done very well despite the MS in general in life and with her illness. Knock on wood, maybe because I'm her sister. We haven't had need of a wheelchair or anything like that. She's had MS for a long time. So, but she's seizing the day because she knows she has a disease, and even if she feels good a lot of the time, or even if she feels good most of the time, she has this diagnosis, and it's important to enjoy life, right? But even if you don't have a diagnosis, it's important to enjoy life. Life is short, and we should have seen it, been made more so than ever before to realize that in 2020, all the people that were lost, you know, in 2020, all the celebrities that died, all the people that lost family members, all the people who had family members who were sick and touch and go, right? Millions and millions and millions of people have had COVID. Yes, in the United States, I think we're around 400,000 or over 400,000 that have actually died. But something more like 6 million that have had COVID, um, that's a lot of people. I'm talking about in our country alone, not even around the world. So think of all those people who, some of them didn't even have symptoms at all, thank God. But a bunch of them not only had symptoms, they're going to have lasting effects. You got to live your life like, I'm not saying everything should be a complete risk, and um, and we should always be walking around thinking about dying and not being here anymore. But we should at least, like I said, seize the moment, seize the day, and be in the present. whenever possible, you know? Um, so that's not to discourage you from making long-term plans, because that's important too. Like we should be looking forward to the future and making long-term plans. But we don't have to do that alone. We don't have to set ourselves up to do that alone. And we don't have to feel like we have to carry it all, which can be a really earth sign way of going about things. So the idea here with this Knight of Swords is that he's done that so much and just always working, or planning, that he is probably sort of unexcited, uninspired, unmotivated about life right now. And it's important to realize that he, and of course this he can be she, can be me, can be any of us. It's not gender or sexuality specific, right? Um, it's important to realize that he is the only person that can change that. He's the only person that can say, you know what? I'm tired of working every day. I'm going to take a day off. I'm calling out sick today. I'm going to go have some fun. I'm going to get some rest. I'm exhausted. Whatever. I'm going to spend some time with my mate. I'm going to find a mate. Whatever. You're the only person that can do that can decide to do that. Or, I've been fighting this relationship for so long, like getting into it, just waiting for it to be right, waiting for myself to have enough money, or, to have lost enough weight, or to, you know, um, have the right job or the right position, or be old enough, or obviously we can't go backwards, for my partner to be old enough. I feel like it sounds better if I'm 40 and he's 30, or versus I'm 20 and he's whatever, 18. I'm 30 and he's 18. So I've been waiting for him to age up. It's all these kind of things, waiting, and like the right time just never comes, right? Doesn't get more perfect. We got to go for stuff now, um, a lot of the time. So this Knight of Pentacles is somebody who's sort of feeling that way and thinking about these things and realizing that maybe he's going to try something new, or learn something new, or just open himself up to change. And again, I don't want to make it seem like I'm saying, like, yeah, and while we're at it, let's throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's not what I'm suggesting. Like, no, I'm not saying don't get crazy, sell all your belongings necessarily, and um, but join life. That's all I'm saying. Join life, live, because before you know it, it's gone. It's a flash, right? The human lifespan, basically, in the scheme of things. At the same time, I always also always say, not only is life too short, to be unhappy and be in the wrong relationship, it's too damn long. You want to be unhappy or in a bad relationship 50, 60, 70, 80 years? It's possible. It's possible. What if you get married at 20 and you live to be 100 and so does your spouse? And the relationship sucked all that time, but you just felt compelled to remain married for the sake of it because it looks good on paper, or what would the neighbors think if you got divorced? So you just spent 80 years together, miserable, and can't stand each other. Now, can you imagine what like a death sentence that would feel like, or a jail sentence? So that's what this is about. With those pleasant thoughts in mind, I didn't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but that's what he is. So, um, and specifically with regard to love, the Knight of Pentacles, he's probably, like I said, feeling sort of bored with life, and particularly his love life. And the way to handle this is by him taking some sort of action. Um, that action is often communication, especially if you're in a committed relationship, like talking to your partner about how they feel. They feel the same way, and you're both miserable. Get the hell out, right? Both of you, like the movie, get out of that situation. If you're both feeling like this is something you want to save, then you got to talk to each other about, like, what changes can we make to, make it more exciting, encouraging, right? That we want to be here. What's my motivation? And if you're just dating, and maybe because you don't know each other that well, that's why the problems are occurring. It's a good time to talk to. If you find yourself um, not even like finding an opportunity to talk, that could be because of Mercury retrograde. Like if there's a block, and if that's the case, don't trip about it. Like just wait. Just your Earth signs of being good at being patient. Use this Earth energy to just wait until what is it, February 6th or something like that. I think. Um, no, not February 6th. February 6th is when this reading goes. Maybe it's March 6th. I think it's March 6th that Mercury retrograde finally ends. Or Mercury goes direct rather. Um, what else I want to tell you about this guy? Maybe we've talked about him long enough. Yeah, I guess I got the point across. Like, people can't read your mind, and we just have to communicate and figure out what it is we want to do. If you're single and looking, when the Knight of Pentacles shows up, it's usually not the best time to settle down, and it's better to let any potential suitors or partners know that up front that I'm just looking to have a good time, or I'm dating. I don't want to get locked down. I don't want to lock you down, or however you word it, and allow yourself to have fun. Just be honest with yourself and with the other people. And again, nobody but you can make your life, fun and exciting. So that's what that's about. So with that in mind, moving on specifically to the fire signs, um, you've probably been having some difficulty in your love life, and possibly specifically in an existing relationship. And it could be time, it could be way beyond time, that you both sort of again have this communication, lay it all out on the table, as they say. You put the cards on the table and really talk about the relationship. Sometimes when this card comes up, it can be about being misled, or about infidelity, being lied to in a romantic relationship. And you may want to consider, if you think there's a potential that you've been cheated on. And again, I have to refer to the general. There was some funky stuff there. The devil, just check out the general. If you, particularly if you feel like this may apply to you, and consider if there's been like any changes in behavior in your partner, or like weird stuff doesn't add up. And it may be time for you to face something. These things could point to other untruths that need to be faced, and in order for the relationship to either work, or you know for you two to be forced to sort of be more honest with each other, and or for the relationship to end. And it's like in either case, hiding from the truth doesn't serve either one of you. So you're going to want to face that. If you are single and looking, there may be difficulty in that relationship too, and maybe some stuff that the person hasn't, shared with you yet, or been completely honest about, or honest about at all. And if you're able to talk, similar to what I said in general with this card, then talk. And if you're finding that you're blocked from it, it could be Mercury retrograde. Maybe you want to wait and try to revisit when Mercury goes direct. If you still can't talk then, and you're still feeling the same way, just end it. That's my advice. Moving on to the earth signs and your hangman in reverse. So the hangman in general is about letting go, and in love it means that too. I mean, it's like a general theme with this card. And it's even more emphatic when it's in reverse. You need to not necessarily let go of a relationship, although that could be the case too, but there's at least a need to let go of a particular kind of relationship. And this is for the earth sign, and it very much goes with the other things that I was talking about with the earth signs. Like maybe your vision again is for this like really perfect relationship. We're gonna wait until she has the right job, and I have the right job, and then we're gonna have children. People do this, for example, and this is not to um, be insensitive to anybody that has fertility issues or anything like that. Certainly not to make fun of anybody, but it's just an example. Like sometimes people will wait, humans. I think I'm gonna start trying to have kids when after we've made it, after we're successful. Maybe when I'm like 40, I'll look into it. I'll try to get pregnant. And you realize that the opportunity for you to get pregnant when that time finally does come, maybe pass you by, and now you're having difficulty. Yes, there's help with infertility now. Um, Sometimes that doesn't always work, and there are children that need to be fostered and children that need to be adopted. So there is always, a way around it. But it's like putting it off um, for when your life is perfect. Like we don't even have control over that stuff. Again, life sort of happens whether we want to engage or not, and it ends when we're not ready, and whether we want to engage or not. So earth signs have this way about them of like putting stuff off, waiting for the right situation, and a lot of times it's not right. And so this is definitely telling you to let go. Again, not necessarily of a relationship. Somebody might have to let go of a relationship, and I mentioned a few times already that does definitely come up in the general. But somebody may just have to let go of a vision of love, like Mariah put it, like this idea or ideal that they have in their head that is not going to happen, and it's not real life, and we need to deal with real life, with reality, and with the present. Also, with this card, it can be saying like if you're in a long-term relationship, it could be at a crossroad. So this is another group of people that maybe are feeling like they may want out. Um, and they're gonna have to think about it and assess the situation and talk to their partner. All the things I said a moment ago about the Knight of Pentacles. And don't freak out though. Like, there's no need to get panicky. Like, if you do decide to leave, it's going to be after responsible thought and communication, and because it's letting go of the whole relationship is what's right for you, is what I'm feeling. And there'll be like cues, like signs and synchronicities and stuff like that. Don't ignore them. Intuition, instincts is going to like let you know what to do. Don't ignore it. So you'll know if you need to let go of an emotion, like a negative emotion you're holding on to, an idea, an ideal, or a whole relationship. You'll know. Moving on to the Hermit and my fellow air signs. I'm not surprised that we got this. This is a card that shows up when it's very likely that a relationship from the past is going to attempt to be rekindled. And how very Mercury retrograde is that? Um, so Mercury actually rules the sign of Virgo, which the Hermit represents, and it also represents the air sign Gemini. So falling there in that placement is why it makes such sense to me. What's going to happen though is you're going to need to decide, like, is that even what you really want, to rekindle a relationship from the past? It's like, are romantic relationships even your priority right now? Very possibly the answer is no. So if your heart says that you want, you know, a romance, that you do want a romantic relationship, look at your behavior and vice versa, and see if they align. And then again, this is another case for a self-assessment and analysis to figure out, what we're into and what we're not into. If you're in a committed relationship, you might feel like you and your partner have been going in two different directions, um, possibly for a while now. So again, it's a time to like make sure to communicate and make the time and effort, to be or stay connected and keep the spark alive. If that's what you want to do, or to discuss, turning off the spark and ending it. That's what you got to talk about. Last but not least, the water signs and the Three of Cups in reverse. So, in the general sense, having nothing necessarily to do with love. The reversed 3 is the super of cups, is a super positive card, and can often mean that you can look forward to at least one positive, pleasant reunion with someone or something from which you've been apart for some time. So, that can be what it means for you in love. The direct meaning in love, however, can mean like if you're in a committed relationship, it's possible that your focus on financial matters and the material, maybe even stress and paranoia about financial matters and the material, something else again that came up in the general, could be affecting your relationship. If you're single, you could meet somebody, possibly through friends or some sort of group. Remember, I talked about how Aquarius was associated with groups and friends. So it's a good idea, again, wherever possible and safe, for you to get out and mingle in groups or with friends if you are looking for love. Also, I am compelled to say, again, because of the general, that somebody could have left a partner in the past for someone else, and or there had been a party of 3, and that person is who's sort of like waking up to the fact that that other relationship was karmic, toxic, not the right one, possibly even involving um, again, abuse or um, maybe spiritual attacks and people trying to use like black magic on you, all kinds of stuff, like something holding on to. It's the very strong devil energy that came through in the general. And so you're wanting to break free of that, get out of that relationship, and maybe that's the return to who you now feel you belong with, that you shouldn't have left before. And for others, maybe a vice versa, like of that. You could be in a relationship that you have realized is not the right one, whether it's short term or long term. But I'm feeling more likely it's long term, and you really are wanting to get out of that. That's why you're bored and or unhappy, because you're not in the right place, and so you're wanting to return to something else. And that's something else, particularly for the earth signs and or air, especially if they're dealing with an earth sign, maybe specifically a Virgo, might have been held up because, again, always looking for something more perfect and never just going for it. It's like, okay, we'll start dating, when the time is right. And it's like, when is the time going to be right? When we're like 80? So something like that is what I'm feeling for somebody. All right, so let's get into some other cards and see what else comes out about our love lives this week. I'm going to take these up completely, actually. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use 3 decks for the next spread, because this is already 2. And this is another. So this is the Keepers of the Light Oracle, beginning with White Eagle and Ancestor Spirit. Connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern is healed now. This can be tied to, again, the toxic relationship, the toxicity, or addiction, or something well, not only one somebody, some people are going through. And again, you can find out more information about what I'm talking about there in the general. This is also a guidance to like call upon your ancestors and the ascended masters, archangels, people who've been there before, that can help. Souls that have, been here before. Ancestor spirit. Connect to your lineage. A family wound or a pattern can be healed now. Maybe there's been patterns of relationships where, you're a man that's always the men in your family have always been mistreated. You're a woman, the women in your family have always been mistreated, or, something like that. and you're going to be the person to break the cycle. Also upright is Cthulhu and Cloak of Wisdom. You already know the answer that you seek. So you know if you need to leave or if you need to stay and fix your relationship. And trust what you know. That's what Cthulhu says. And the rest are in reverse. So I'll shuffle these a little bit. Was that Venus? Yes, it's her. This is why I use this deck this week. Lady Venus, downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. I can feel it. Can you? All right, so I'm going to shuffle a little bit. Oh, and opened right back to her again. Love when that happens. One. Then we got Krishna and devotion. Trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized and you are loved unconditionally. So it's like the universe is watching, helping you. Holy amethyst and divine alchemy. Move beyond current challenges. Focus on what you desire. Keep advising people, if you have any amethyst, do use it. If you don't have any, you may want to get some. I've just been feeling a lot of stuff about amethyst. And amethyst is one of the birthstones of the signs of Aquarius. So this season or age of Aquarius, maybe the stone to focus on and to have. Bridget, inner strength, move back to wholeness. Recognize that you have the power. This for me most directly connects to fire signs and Leo specifically, and strength. I see that in the card, but I think also it connects to what I was saying in the beginning about us being the only people who can change our situation. Somebody else can't change our situation for us. I'm going to go ahead and cut these. Green Tara, supreme protection. You are protected. Cords are being cut. Move beyond limitation. Trust. Also upright is this very motherly, nurturing, empress-like, Mary-like energy. Kuan Yin, she was also a virgin, right? That emerged from a lotus flower, like the Virgin Mary. Choose to be love. Do what you know is right for everyone involved. So there's also like a justice aspect to that. Also, guys, just to offer a helping hand to somebody. Speaking of Mary, it's not Mother Mary, but Mary Magdalene. Teacher awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call and don't let anything stop you. Next card is in reverse. It is Archangel Michael, trusting heaven. Now, to get these shuffled, with these, we'll begin with Major Arcana card 6, the Lovers, which represents the sign of Gemini most directly. The planet Mercury, which rules us. True and long-lasting love finds its way into your life. Follow your heart with caring actions and choices. And behind that, we have the Eight of Cups. So there could be this feeling or sense again of a desire maybe to walk away from a relationship or to walk toward one that we feel we belong into. But it's going to take some self-assessment, some thinking, some meditation, some communication, some deciding. You feel that there's more to life than what you're living, so it's time to move on. You may be moving from a situation that isn't good for you, or perhaps you're being drawn to what would make you happy. Either way, you are in control. Then there's the Wheel, which is super positive, right? It's a positive change. It's a time of positive change. So whatever we do, the change is a reversal of fortune. If things aren't going right in a relationship, we improve them or we leave, and then things are better. We're single. We don't want to be single. We get out there. We engage with people. We meet somebody, and our situation changes. Time of positive change. Situation suddenly moves forward, and there is fortune on your side. The Wheel most directly represents the planet Jupiter and the sign of Sagittarius, which it rules, but also the fixed signs: Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, and Taurus. And the next card is the Queen of Swords, speaking of Aquarius. So I'm going to just toss these in here. Speaking of Aquarius, I just opened up to the star as well. And we'll cut these now. There she is, the Queen of Swords. She is independent, experienced, realistic, and witty. Objective decision making, clearing away all that no longer serves you, and seeing the humor in the situation. Yes, I realize I did it again. I was just talking about the Queen of Swords, and here she is now as our overall energy. She is most directly an Aquarius, where the sun is, and where Venus enters this week. Venus, the ruler of the two other air signs, Libra, Gemini, in addition to Taurus. And there is the Four of Pentacles, which also for me is about the need to leave something that is not making us happy. So since we're talking about love and relationship this time, it may very well be love and relationship, or it could be a job. Again, particularly for the water signs, your job or your financial situation or your focus on it may be affecting your relationship. Well, maybe you're in a job that makes you miserable. That could very well affect your relationship. So you need to leave that job and improve things, right? Get a job where you are not miserable, where you're happy, where you feel like you're serving a purpose. Being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, and caring for the less fortunate is what what the card says it's about. I just gave you my feelings on it. Major Arcana card 14, Balance or Temperance, which represents Jupiter, Sagittarius. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise, wait for perfect timing. This is about negotiations, collaboration, coming together, despite our differences, just saying, all that stuff that we fought over before that didn't work, or, that I was looking for for us to become perfect. And, I was making note of your differences, making note of my differences. I finally realized they should not matter. They don't matter, and let's move on. That's what this kind of card is too. For me, it's also what I call about healing and holding. I feel like people are made to feel whole again, like where something was lost or lacking, it is restored, and they are renewed with the energy of temperance. Also, temperance for me, like I said, in the tarot, traditionally represents the sign of Sagittarius. For me, it also represents Aquarius, as this is a water bearer, as far as I'm concerned. Four of Cups warns us against missing out on potential opportunities. Again, getting out there and living life and enjoying life instead of watching it from the sidelines, waiting for, the stars to align a particular way before we jump in. This is saying that's not a good idea. Missing an opportunity, discontentment, or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. We're the person who can change that. High Priestess, Major Arcana card 2, most directly represents the sign of Gemini, can also represent water signs in the tarot. Listen to your intuition, have patience, and consider carefully what you want before acting. Very important right now. The Hierophant, about contracts, commitments, relationship up to and including marriage even, represents the sign of Taurus most directly, again ruled by Venus. Traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations, seek out mentors and like-minded friends. Aquarius's ruler has been located in Taurus for a while, is still there, will be there for some time. Two of Swords, also about the need to make a decision, being unable or unwilling to make that decision, a stalemate, pretending there's no problem. For me, we've already made the decision. We're just afraid to act on it because, again, fear of what other people might think or how it looks in society and all this kind of foolishness. Maybe we're waiting for that perfect time again. We all share that overall energy of the Knight of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is also up right here, so that's nice to see. The inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, important documents or contracts, followed by death. Major Arcana card 13, the end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation. It is time to move on. Most directly represents the sign of Scorpio. The Eight of Wands. It's just always Cupid's arrows being thrown at people for me, hurled at people. Events moving at a fast pace. Delays are over and many things are happening at once. You may receive a communication. And the Wheel is back. Again, time of positive change. Situation suddenly moves forward. Fortune is on your side. But another Four of Pentacles. We got to get rid of that thing that does not work for us. That thing that's making us unhappy. Be cautious about living a life of extremes. Here we go. This is a better explanation. Or seeing things in black and white terms. Consider, for example, Whether you're spending too much versus hoarding your wealth, or giving too much emotionally versus building up walls that keep people out. The next card is in reverse. It's another Two of Swords. All right. Divine being or couple. Recent past. Near future. Masculine's higher self. Blocks to individual or shared progress. What the feminine can do to help herself. What the masculine can do to help himself. What the universe wants to do to help us all. We have to allow it to, or not. We got free will. It's up to you. And the outcome. And the same for this. Divine being or couple. Knight of Wands. An opportunity arises that needs your attention right away. Moving quickly is important, yet there's nothing that you can't handle if you follow your own inner guidance. So there will be communication, or you'll meet somebody. There's some sort of opportunity for, the stars to align for you in terms of love. Maybe that opportunity was the Leo full moon. We got that here. The Knight of Wands does represent the signs of Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. It's partnered here with Dharma unfolding. So that's kind of like karma, right? Remember that you are on a path. Take one step at a time to happiness. So as part of your path, an opportunity opens up this week. Recent past. The King of Pentacles. Everything's going to turn out great. Projects will be stunningly successful. Exciting new career opportunities are possible. And money or resources that come your way will be invested wisely. The King of Pentacles is compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, and grounded. He is also a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And you may be having a conversation with him. I mean, if he may represent an actual person in your life that is generous, secure, hardworking, really, dedicated, committed to once they put their mind to something. And maybe he is directly a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. He's partnered here with Joan of Arc in the Voice of Truth. Stand strong, focus on your purpose, and release the fear of persecution. Speak your truth. That truth can definitely be, what would be the fear of persecution? Again, something that's frowned upon. So wanting a divorce, or being part of, some sort of party of three and needing to come clean. I don't know. Something that requires integrity and courage to, speak your truth. It could be, I love you. It could be something only positive. I'm removing any of those negative thoughts or emotions or suggestions that I, gave. It could just be like, I've been having trouble facing the fact that I need to say, I love you, or I'm sorry, I forgive you, combinations of those too. Near future. Three of Wands. Stop to take time to review and to make long-term plans, capitalizing upon your past successes. It's appropriate to pat yourself on the back for all of your accomplishments, but you may also need patience for the next phase to play out. So you'll at least be able to see something tangible on the horizon happening, and maybe through an earth connection. A physical connection could be happening. So you could be physically meeting somebody, physically connecting with someone, and or if this can be about, the King of Pentacles person or type of person. So that may be what the earth is about in terms of earth sign. Whatever it is, be mindful of the planet. So it's like stay grounded, basically the message. Come back to earth. And yes, stay grounded. Masculine's higher self. This is what his mind is on. Two of Cups. I could feel it. Could you guys see it as the reading was progressing? You're falling in love or experiencing a deepening of emotion in your current relationship. Marriages or romantic partnerships in distress can still be saved. Don't give up. And we have, speaking of not giving up and being focused on an intention, is partnered with Diana. Think about what you desire. That's what he's doing. This is his higher self here. And he's focused on what he desires. Set your sights high. Expect the best possible outcome. Blocks to individual or shared progress. What's been holding us up? The need for some sort of karmic completion. Well, that's awesome since we started with Dharma, right? And the fact that we're on a path. There's something's happening here. There's movement. So these are like mirroring each other, this Dharma and this karma. Congratulations on successfully accomplishing what you've set out to do. You've made it through the challenges and incorporated the lessons that life offered you with grace and courage. The world for me is a fire energy. It feels like fire. So connected to some sort of fire energy and karmic energy, and is about something coming to an end or full circle, a cycle completing, a phase completing, often a relationship, job, living condition, situation, something like that is coming to an end, or a feeling, a way of being, like we're releasing emotions and all that's coming to an end. I'm shifting into a new way of being, a way of thinking. And that is partnered with Paul the Venetian and experiencing grace. So maybe that's what that shift is described as. It's this, we're describing it as experiencing grace and like mercy. Share your gifts with grace. Waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. What the feminine can do to help herself, maybe to begin to experience grace, is the King of Wands, inspiring, dramatic, ambitious, and wise. He is most directly an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or someone like into those traits or attributes. Now's your moment to step up into a leadership role. So what the feminine can do for itself is like lead by example. Don't back away from the spotlight, as your plans will be successful as long as you stay focused on the big picture. So like the masculine, she needs to remain focused on her intention. That's what she can do to help herself. Also, she needs to be confident that, she's going to be successful. And that is partnered with Radha and Soul Flame. So this is what you want. It's the same thing he wants. Two of Cups. Right? You focused on the Soul Flame. Rediscover a lost part of yourself. Experience relationship harmony and healing by being, again, maybe leading by example and being confident and not shrinking into fear and ruining the manifestation process with your negative thoughts. What the masculine can do to help himself. Queen of Swords, all of your life experiences have prepared you for this moment of truth. It is time to declutter your home, to clear away situations that aren't working for you anymore, and to disengage from people who create more drama than happiness. The Queen of Swords is experienced, self-sufficient, brilliant, and funny. And it's partnered with facing fear. What does she do? Cut away everything that doesn't work for you anymore. Does fear ever work for you? Nope. That means this is what we have to cut out. That's what you can do to help yourself, masculine. Also, the Queen of Swords in general, when she shows up upright like that too, no less, is saying that your instincts will serve you very well. Like pay very close attention to your instincts, your intuition, gut feelings, what your body, soul, heart are telling you to do, and follow that. The universe's recommendation for us all, what it wants to help us with, wants to help us to be victorious, wants to help us with success. You may receive a promotion, be chosen for a scholarship, or find that you're singled out for special recognition. You did an amazing job, and you deserve all of the attention. And that is partnered with the Holy Spirit. Expect miracles. The universe is saying, if you allow me to help you, I can do stuff that you can't do. And all you need to do is have the faith. Well, allow me to help you, and then have faith that it'll happen. Keep that focused intention held, and I got the rest with the miracles. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. And the outcome. Womp womp. The same Five of Cups that was in the general. Five of Cups is one of these cards that it's about doubt and pessimism. So it's like, despite all of this, there's still a majority of us who have the potential to have our minds like in the wrong place and to not believe. Focus upon the fact that God loves you and always has the highest of intentions for you. A positive outlook makes it easier to recover from life's little difficulties so that you can move onward and upward. Also, in the general reading, the Five of Cups was associated with those who had to leave a relationship behind, and that sort of like when you leave something, even if you know it was bad for you, you can still miss it. So it's like mixed feelings, you know, like, oh, I feel kind of down, but at the same time, I know I needed to get out of that. And it is partnered here with the Shekinah and sacred self. So it could be about that again. And like letting you know that you, again, have to, are the only person who can be empowered to help you. Unleash your spirit, express your gifts, and dance the sacred rhythm of life. Let's see. What are the chances of not a Five of Cups, of you know, the success that the universe wants for us? How many of us are going to go after that? Let's see if they'll show us. I like to clarify with upright cards, as y'all know. Here we got one. Come on, let's give me something good. This is an indication of a bunch of us maybe being not the confident person we're guided to be here. I mean, these are not major arcana cards, so we can move about. We don't have to accept this energy. We can change this. But this is talking about the Seven of Swords. I say that it represents an energy of joy stealing. Like, it's often about us stealing our own joy. It's about a lack of confidence or a lack of esteem. So that may be why, you know, the Five of Cups is showing up, because people are feeling like this. Yeah. They don't lie. They give me real messages. So I mean, I can't complain, even though I wish these weren't the cards. There is the potential for this and this, but some of us are going to, you know, be sort of down and unhappy and doubtful and pessimistic and, oh, woe is me, and not having the right mindset, and so we won't move forward. That's that ultimate ending message. But everything else was so beautiful getting there. So, you know, if you had all believed that that was real or could be real for you, then keep those thoughts positive so that you can have this instead. The Knight of Cups. He is romantic, flirtatious, introspective, and enchanting. A deeply emotional and probably romantic experience will sweep you off your feet. Things can move very quickly during such whirlwind encounters, so stay balanced and make decisions with both your heart and your intellect. Also, I'm getting this somebody that could be returning, because the Knight of Cups for me can often be about somebody that's returning to your life. Could be what these other cards are about. Like in the past, there was a lot of pain and hurt there, and maybe just downright an uncool situation. And so it's coming back, and that Five of Cups represents them too. Like, do I have anything to go back to? Can I do it? So for those people, you'll need, you know, the courage to put your big boy or big girl pants on and deal with the situation or the mess you made in somebody else's life. Further to that, let's see some advice. I don't know if I'm pulling these in order, but we're going to get what we're going to get. All right, what we're meant to have, I guess. So from the Keepers of the Light to the masculine, it is faith. These things always come full circle. This is what you need. You need faith. You need the positive thought. You need the things are going to work out. You need that focused intention. You need the manifestation. Stay calm. Trust that God has, trust the good in yourself, yes, and others, and see the light in the world. Feminine. Holy amethyst. If you have some, wear it. Move beyond current challenges. Focus on what you desire. So this is another, this like again the same warning. It's we have to have that faith and have the focused intention. From the animal tarot to the masculine, it's another Ace of Pentacles. See, we could have all this good. You can expect a windfall of abundance, such as money, timely assistance, a serendipitous meeting, or rewarding advice. You may be offered a fabulous new job or a promotion, or the prospect of a profitable business venture or investment. Feminine, the Queen of Pentacles. You will be given advice that's both practical and creative and should be followed precisely. Focus only upon the positive in every situation or person. Some of us are going to be like nesting, and like if we're single, maybe even remodeling or fixing up our house, like preparing it maybe for the relationship that we're not even thinking about, just like instinctively doing this. And if we are coupled, still like trying to make it more homey and, you know, just more enjoyable environment for us both. The Queen of Pentacles is thoughtful, caring, creative, and ingenious. She is also potentially a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. You will be given, oh, I told you about it, you'll be given the advice. So yes, listen to it precisely, and you might find yourself nesting. Masculine, you got another ace. So I'm going to remind you again, don't let those little cards get to you. This is what we're meant to have. Ace of fire now, Ace of Wands. An exciting new opportunity. Career advancement, maybe. Could be career advancement. Could be, it could be a pregnancy or something like that. You got there's a lot of mother energy here. If it's not a pregnancy, again, a fertile new something. If it's not an actual, pregnancy with a child, pregnancy with something else, with a new, opportunity, new relationship, new ideas for a new path in your relationship. Again, some sort of change to make that will be fruitful. And last but not least, feminine from the Angel Tarot Hour card. Not as exciting, but good. The Nine of Wands. Don't give up. Protect that which you've created. Have courage. So important. And believe in yourself. Hope you guys have enjoyed the love reading this week. I'll be back with more. Namaste.